One. What are you doing?
Opening a beer.
How?
With a ring.
Ay, ay, ay.
There's a reason I got married. What's up, TubeU? We're back. Guess what? New house, new kitchen. We're not exactly done yet, but hey, we're getting there, and I thought it's time to start posting some videos again because we posted some pictures and we had some good response, so I figured we'd do a video. And we have me here, Dave, Mohawk Dave. We got Elena in the background holding the camera, and we got Pooper in the background playing with her toys, standing on the couch.
Say hi. All right.
So the kitchen's not done yet, like I said, but we are gonna do tuna tartare. And I posted some pictures of the ones that I made. You guys liked it, so I figured you guys can make it too. If you follow this video, it's super simple, super easy. So check this out. This is what we need. A couple ingredients. You might have to go hunting for a little bit. So we need avocados. We need microgreens, half a lemon, shallot, fresh quail eggs. They gotta be fresh. And that's really a preference. If you can stomach eating raw quail eggs on top of your raw tuna, then great. If not, you don't have to use it. I like it. It tastes good to me. Soy sauce, flour, sesame seeds, and some pre-mixed wasabi that I did right before we started shooting the video. You need a cutting board, a knife or two. You're gonna need some oil for frying up the shallot, and a cold beer, just for fun.
And the avocado needs to be ripe.
The avocado needs to be ripe. Do not use a non-ripe avocado.
What is the most important ingredient?
It would be sashimi tuna. That is the most important ingredient. Get yourself some nice quality tuna. It is most likely going to be pre-frozen, obvious reasons, because you want to freeze the fish for a couple of hours before you start working with it, just to kill off whatever is in it, if there's anything in it. Nice quality fish is not going to have it. Usually you could do it with any tuna. The most probably preferred is tuna number 1, which is sushi grade quality tuna cuts. So I'm using sashimi. It's almost like a steak. It looks cool. It's going to taste good once it's cut up. I probably shouldn't have had those energy drinks today.
How many did you have?
I don't know.
Dude.
Anyhow, so here's the tuna. I forgot to mention, also a special shout out to Tabasco brand Sriracha. Awesome sauce. They made it just right, and it's Tabasco. So not pushing any brands here, but it is actually really good. Not sponsored by Tabasco, but if Tabasco would like to sponsor me, I'm here. Anyhow, smoked paprika is also just for flavor if you prefer it. If you don't like it, don't add it. So these 3 ingredients here that I have, the quail eggs, the sriracha, and the smoked paprika, you can use those if you like the taste of those items. It's not gonna affect the final dish if you don't. I'm gonna cut up the tuna. So I'm gonna slice it into just basically like this. Now don't worry about getting all the sizing right. And what you could do, you could actually tear it up. After you've cut it like this, you can tear the tuna up just to give it more of a non-cubed type of flavor, I guess, in it.
How do you tear it up?
With your fingers, or put it on a board and just use a fork to tear it into pieces like you're tearing meat off of a bone.
Can you show?
Can I show it?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you could take the tuna and just tear it up like this.
And what does that do?
It just makes it a different texture. Because to me, eating tuna tartare, I feel like the tuna should be almost mangled. There's no way. I like to cut it into strips and then do this because I feel like it's gonna give it more flavor almost like squished in, just like this. And then once you're done with this, what I do is I put it in a bowl, put it in the fridge, and let it chill until I get all the other stuff done. You want to have everything chilled. Actually, here, let me show you something. What I did was put the plates that I'm going to put the tuna on later on to assemble it in the fridge so it's chilled. Just going to make things that much better. So, and then again, you're working with raw fish, so you want to keep it chilled. And this is one of those places, I know that you see my avocado here and the lemon and all the stuff on the same cutting board. Usually I would scream out cross-contamination because you're dealing with raw fish, so you have to take obvious precautions. But since this is all going into the same thing, it's not a big deal as long as whatever touches the fish, you treat it as the raw fish. So I'm done ripping up the tuna, and I'm just placing it in a bowl for now. Then I agree with her, you should do that. I'm gonna put it in the fridge just so it's nice and chilled. Okay. Alright, so wipe off the board so it's not slippery from the tuna. And here's what I'm going to do next. The shallot. Cut the ends off of it. And I usually separate the pieces that are in here. Sometimes you get only one piece. And then also, I like to peel off the first layer just because revealing the actual, there you go. First layer is gone. Take the first layer off of this. She disagrees with me. She thinks you should keep the first layer. And then what I do is basically chop it finely. It doesn't have to be very tiny because it will shrink once you're frying it. Action. She told me not to say that, so I said it. She's laughing. I'm narrating her. I'm putting it in the strainer. The shallot. Why are you laughing? Can you tell me why you're laughing?
I can't laugh.
You can laugh. Alright. So put it in here. Next thing I'm going to do is wash my hands. Alright. So, you take a spoon. You take flour. Put the spoon in the flour. And then you dump it. Well, maybe don't record the actual sink.
Okay, go.
And then you sprinkle it on your shallots. And that's it. That's all the flour you need on it, really. So the next thing I'm going to do, take a small pot, put it on the sink. Yes, it's the sink.
You mean the oven?
Yes, no, the stove.
Okay.
I am not okay. Add about a little bit of oil in there.
You call
for
that
frying.
little?
Well, it's frying. So you're using it to fry. So it has to cover whatever you're putting in there. And you let the oil warm up until it's nice and warm. Alright, meanwhile, while the oil is warming up, take the avocado. Bowl. Yeah. Spoon out the avocado. And these are nice and ripe too, which is awesome. Don't cut yourself. Now this is where I add a splash of lemon on the avocado. To me, it brings out a nice flavor. And what I do is I mush it. Like you're making guacamole, but don't mush it all the way. Leave it nice and chunky. Just like this. You can see these nice chunks like this. Just like that.
I can't see.
There you go.
No.
See the chunks? Leave it nice and chunky like this. Don't squish it. Mush it all the way. You could add a little bit of sesame seed to this and just mix it in a little bit. And you can add a little bit of your smoked paprika to this. Mix it a little. And that's where I put the sriracha. Just a splash, just for the garlicky flavor from sriracha. No particular brand Tabasco. And all I'm doing is I'm putting the shallots in the hot oil and letting them fry. So you're going to want to mix the shallots just so they don't stick to the bottom of the pot in the oil. Get them to golden brown.
Did you use a medium heat?
I used high heat in the beginning to get the oil nice and warm, and then I turned it down a little bit. Try to control the heat so it's not like steaming, the oil's not smoking, and you don't create a fire like Keith did in South Carolina by pouring alcohol on something.
And how long do you cook it for?
This is literally like 2 or 3 minutes.
Continuously mixing, or?
I do. I mix it continuously because I don't want them to clump together. But lightly, because at the same time you don't want that flour to come off of it. Alright, so these are nice and golden brown. This is what I'm going to do. Careful when handling hot oil. Pour the oil out through the strainer.
I can hear a sizzle still.
Yeah. Put the hot oil off to the side. Pour them out on a paper towel. And spread them out to get that oil off of them a little bit. And they're nice and crunchy. Alright, third time's the charm. I'm going to cut the solo cup carefully so you don't rip the cup. Apparently that's what's been happening. Use scissors. If you don't have sharp knives, use scissors. Okay, well, we'll make it work. There you go. We'll make this work. So that's how I'm gonna assemble the tuna. Okay. So I'm taking the wasabi I'm adding it. Adding wasabi there. And then what I'm going to do is add soy sauce. Rinse this out. Mix it. So that's the sauce that's going to be going on the bottom. Grab the tuna. Nice and chilled. And this is how we're going to assemble. Put the cup in the middle. Take your avocado.
How much avocado do you use?
You could do however you prefer, if you like more avocado or less. I do about a quarter avocado on the bottom. And you just compact it nicely. And then you take the tuna, you put the tuna on top. You compact it also nicely. I like more tuna. I mean, if you're a fan of raw fish and love that flavor, the more tuna the merrier, I feel like. But you do need something else to kind of give you that.
Balance it out.
Yeah. So what I do is a little bit of sesame seed on top. Then I do a splash of paprika. Next, I'm going to grab this cup out of here. Just like that. Then what I'm going to do is add these crunchy shallots on top. Throw them on the plate a little bit. Next are the microgreens. Take the microgreens and you put them on top. Just like so. And then the final beauty of it is you take a quail egg, you break it, cut it, and you pour it on top.
But you don't have to do an egg if you don't want to.
No, you don't have to put an egg on top if you don't want to. So next thing I do, pour the sauce out. And there you go. Tuna tartare. So there you have it, tuna tartare. Super easy, really quick to make. Tastes awesome. Don't have to do the egg if you don't want to. Enjoy it, follow along, and make it. We're going to have other videos coming out soon covering different types of food. And subscribe, like, and share. Thanks.
Comment for any suggestions, questions.
Yeah, suggestions and questions. If you guys have them, shoot them out. We'll try to make it.